Welcome to TradeTheMBI.com. This is John. This report is for the 16th, and there you can see we're pushing the limits here. We're getting right to the peaks. No issues with the sustainability on this. I mean, we had the brief little indication that there would be a little softness, but we had the beautiful reset of the steel from the daily. And the shakeout, simple reset. Now, is it blow away for the ES? Not particular. I mean, it's still within a range shot, even though you're at the peak of it. NASDAQ is a little bit more significant because it's really making that move. And it's been a strong play. I mean, like we've talked about it. I mean, there's as much some people were talking about, oh, it's time to shorten it. It's like, are you kidding me with that cyan? No, and no. Euro continuing to blaze out. It's just right in the range. We'll have to see if we get closer to where we can bring in the other line, but it hasn't quite happened yet. We saw this build up from way back at the start of the year happen, and it's just been a continuing momentum build despite the difficulties once the French election was decided. Everything just fell into place for it to get right back into place, and it doesn't appear to be any Greek contagion at this particular point. And bonds just hovering right around the spot. I mean, it's sort of like a tired thing. We've had this line area for quite some time. We've hovered to the top side of it. We expect that's probably going to remain the same, given the fact that we're still not seeing any. We have early signs of potential growth, but nothing on a breakout scale yet. There's just a lot of optimism. So we had the oil put in its little buy. We expected a little pop from it. We don't think it's going to sustain itself. We just got to a point where we're so oversold that it just had that automatic reaction pop up. You can already see it's already overdone here with the yellow. It's going to have to ease off pretty quick, but still, yeah, the reset is perfect. You can see short-term buyers, though, a little overdone. They're going to fade it a little bit, and that's what they did after the gap up, because they still haven't solved the fact that there's just way too much supply of the product. And gold, soft return off this so far, but it's going to start building in its potential. I mean, it had all the right moves for it. Signal to the upside. Doesn't mean that we don't have to revisit the bottom there. You saw how many red extremes that we had below the red line with the purple, and that's a key indication. So let's just take a look back briefly on the 5K, what we saw, because it was kind of pointing. We ended up with this buy signal was back here, and we don't need these this big. Let's get more of a chart going. And what happened was we got the buy, and we ended up just kind of flat, ho-hum, staying even. But then we started seeing all the little fives pop in with the resets of the orange dipping below and just maintaining it. And then we started to talk about how that started to improve as we got a little bit better DLC readings and shakeout turning around to positive territory, and then boom, that led to the takeoff. And so what we had was just a nice accumulation into that, and like we were saying, any of these were just longs, and it's just a matter of waiting it out, and it was worth the ride because it took off, got way overbought. Normally on a run around day like this, when it starts to break out like that, usually any little retrace you get, you're still going to end up towards the highs of the day. It's just kind of a typical situation when you have a blowout move, even though you had the short signals come in. We're well below the negative 13.5 here with the steel, which means short-term buyers, even having been out of it at that point, we're still not getting sold into. It's the second peak right here that was lower shakeout on the matching highs. It has a little bit more vulnerability to it to fill in some of the positive extremes. But all in all, excellent move. No real opportunity to get into it, though, once it started. I mean, after it was already going. That's the beauty of that, even when you have the ABM like this, because once you get back above it, that's where you can just stay with it, and boom, you have yourself a nice read off of it, and it's just watching that shakeout and letting it just ride. And we had the beautiful cyan under the red, and then it's right there is when it broke down. A little bit of a DOC spread at the same time you're that far above the 13.5. It's time to take a gain and wait for a reset. So All good. As always, though, we will continue to put charts up. Was out a little bit yesterday. Isabella, fortunately, I don't know, ate something or had an issue and had to attend to her, make sure she was okay. So she's doing much better today, so that's a relief. As always, though, trade well. We'll talk to you later.